This day and time. What happened today, years ago?
We land in the late 19th century, June 23rd, 1894. A completely different kind of global influence is born. The International Olympic Committee, the IOC.
Yes, a total shift in focus. This one starts with a vision, specifically the vision of a Frenchman, Pierre de Coubertin. He was apparently deeply affected by France losing the Franco-Prussian War in 1870. He saw sports, physical education as a way to rebuild national spirit, national character.
But it wasn't just national, right? His idea became much bigger.
Exactly. It evolved into this Olympic ideal. It wasn't just about being athletic. It was about combining physical skill with moral strength, international understanding, peace, even honor. A whole package.
So how did he make this happen? How do you go from an idea to the actual Olympics?
Well, he organized a congress at the Sorbonne in Paris, invited delegates, I think the sources say 78 people from 9 countries, and cleverly the official topic was just amateur sports. Pretty dry stuff, maybe.
A bit of a Trojan horse?
Sort of. He apparently put the really big idea, reviving the ancient Olympic Games, right at the end of the agenda, waited for the right moment.
And June 23rd, 1894 was that moment.
That was the day. The delegates at the Congress, they unanimously voted to create the International Olympic Committee, the IOC. A Greek delegate, Dimitrios Vikalis, became the first president. And fittingly, they chose Athens to host the first modern games in 1896.
An inspiring start. But I remember reading the early years weren't exactly smooth sailing.
Oh, far from it. The sources call it a miracle. The movement even survived. The 1896 Athens Games almost didn't happen because Greece was basically broke, financial crisis.
Right.
And then the next 2 games, Paris in 1900 and St. Louis in 1904, they were completely overshadowed. They were just tacked onto these massive world's fairs happening at the same time. Nobody paid much attention to the Olympics themselves.
It sounds like the ideal was immediately tested by reality. How did it survive that rocky start? What kept it going?
I think it speaks to the power of the core idea itself. Even with all those problems, the concept of nations coming together peacefully through sport, it just resonated. It offered something hopeful, in a world that was often full of conflict and tension. And look, the Olympics have faced huge challenges since then. Wars, boycotts, scandals, you name it. But that foundation laid on June 23rd, 1894, those ideals of education, peace, international friendship through sport, they've proven remarkably resilient. It's really the birth certificate of a global cultural movement using soft power.
Soft power, that's a good way to put it. Okay, so we've seen empire by force and finance and influence through ideals and sport.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more history daily.